Join us.
Hey folks, we're rounding out the first wave of Black Series figures for the Skeleton Crew. We're down to number 1, Mr. Jod Na Nawood, played by Jude Law. I've taken a look at his vintage collection figure already. I'll leave a link at the end of the video so you can go and check that out. And that was a nice figure. This one's looking pretty good too. Again, like I said, number 1. Still not sure how to say Jod Na Nawood, whether that's correct. It looks right. There he is on the side of the box. Great likeness. There's his name. On the back, we got the same bio. You know, you can pause it and have a freeze frame and have a look if you like. Or you can just stare at Jude Law's face. Now, really excited to finish off this batch of reviews with this guy. Let's bust him open and have a look.
Before I start, if you could give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you're new. This is the way.
Alright guys, here is Jod Na Nawood out of the packaging. I hope we're saying that right. I feel like Jod Na Nawood. It sounds a little weird. I don't know. It's not exactly a name that rolls off the tongue. Did take a look at the vintage collection review a couple of weeks ago. I'll leave a link at the end of the video so you can jump back and have a look at that. Otherwise, it's not too far back in my channel that you should be able to find it pretty easily. Yeah, excited about this character. Not sure what we're going to be seeing, what his story is. A lot of talk about him being a Force user, an ex-Jedi potentially. I don't know. Well, I'm going in as blind as anyone else. Now, he comes with a very piratey looking blaster, and I'm just curious as to whether this is the same as Brutus's. So he's got very similar. There's enough differences there that these are two different weapons. So maybe the same in-universe manufacturer, but very different. So yeah, again, looking and feeling very piratey, which is cool. I love it. Love that sort of musket. And of course, he's got his sort of hooded robe, or hooded cowl. I don't know what else to call it. Scarf. And the other side of the box, he's sort of wearing it sort of down. So I dare say we may see another version. But yeah, I'm okay with this. I like it. It's cool. No weathering on it or anything. So that's up to you. We display him with that or not. We'll take a look on him afterwards. But let's get a close-up look. I think he looks quite good. It's a good likeness to Jude Law, that's for sure. Maybe the shading under his eyes, the sort of bags under his eyes, might be a little bit much. I don't know. What do you guys think? Oh, there's sort of the 5 o'clock shadow. The hair looks good, nicely sculpted. I found the 3 3/4 one. While it did look like Jude Law, it almost looked like Chris Martin from Coldplay as well. Whereas this one, I don't know, it looks a little bit more Jude Law-y. But yeah, maybe the bags under his eyes. I don't know, maybe he's had a rough night out. We've all been there. And again, he's got the big sort of purple jacket, purpley maroon sort of coloured jacket. Sort of makes me think a little bit like Hondo Onaka. He's got a flair for the riches. I like the sort of the gold trim on the cuffs, on the pockets. Standard white or blue sort of shirt underneath. A bit of a flary looking belt buckle there as well. I do like the buckle on this is actually painted. That's a nice touch. A few of the other figures have kind of missed that extra. Those extra tiny little details. I think it just adds that little bit more. Let's holster his weapon here. Just see how nicely it fits. Oh, that's a good fit. around the back of the coat. Sort of expected maybe a little bit of weathering around the edges, but that's all right. Maybe he just had it cleaned. Very sort of Star Warsy boots with the wraps, that sort of wrapping look. I like the big sort of cuffs around the bottom of the boot too. That looks good. So a little bit of that sort of darker detail around here just sort of gives you that idea that there's a bit of shadow there as the jacket sort of closes in around him. So that looks kind of cool. Let's try the hood on. Let's see how that fits and see how it looks. Yeah, so it fits okay. Sits on there well. You can get his head sort of pushed back up a little bit more. I'm going to try this again. Just the way I put it on. Let's see if I get it to sit a little bit nicer. No, it's a little bit tricky, but that works. Really nice to get his head pointing up a little bit more, but that's fine. I probably will display him without it, to be honest. Maybe find something soft goodsy that can sort of wrap around his neck and give him that sort of scarf look, as opposed to the cowl sort of wrapped over the head. Kind of like the idea of the sort of scarf just sort of wrapped around and hanging forward. It would be easy to do with some soft goods, a little bit of material. So I might end up doing that if the inspiration strikes me at some point. But yeah, he's a cool looking figure. I'm definitely looking forward to learning more about Jod. Yeah, I just really love the little gold touches around there. I think it looks cool. Let's look at his articulation. It's the ball joint in the top of the head, ball joint at the bottom of the neck. He has the ball joint in the shoulders. He has the butterfly joints in there as well, which is nice. Ball hinges in the elbows. He has the ball and socket wrists. No hinges there. Yeah, bottom of the torso, there is the torso joint there. He's got the barbell, ball and socket at the hips. Ball joint in the knees. Ball joint in the ankles, or ball hinge in the ankles, and then the little rocker joint there. And as always, just do a little peg test using the KR stand from KesslerRunHair.com. And check them out. And there he stands well. I'm going to give him a blaster pistol. It's a nice snug fit in the hand there. So there we have Jod Na Nawood. We'll find out more about him in just a couple of weeks. Love to hear your thoughts. What do you think of this figure? Again, stay tuned for the next minute or two, and yeah, right at the very end I'll put a link up for his TVC accompaniment for you to peruse at your leisure. So yeah, hopefully some more Skeleton Crew figures to come as the show airs. Very, very excited. I'm looking forward to the series. I think it's going to be good fun. And yeah, if you've got kids, watch it with your kids. I think very important that kids are shown this series. I think it's going to inspire them. I hope it inspires them. And we need Star Wars to continue on for generations to come. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. Again, as always, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new, and we'll catch up with you very soon. Until then, may the Force be with you always.